Dr. Ching-Ming Cheng is an associate professor of music, being chair of the Department of Music here at CSUSM. Her passion to inspire students and dedication to music inspires us. I had the privilege of sitting down with her to discuss how and why she got here while getting the chance to showcase her talent with me.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. So first I want to ask what your background is in music.
Okay, so I'm actually originally from Taiwan. I grew up in Taiwan. I was born there, and I finished my education up to college in Taiwan. And I actually started piano lessons when I was maybe 5. And I had an older brother who obviously started first. And my mom would have to take me with him to his piano lessons. And according to my mom, and obviously I don't remember any of this, but my mom said that it was really obvious that I showed a lot more interest in music, or piano in particular, a lot more than my brother, because my brother actually stopped the lesson only maybe after a few years. But I ended up being the one that continued, even to this day. And so I don't think I was like a prodigy or anything. I don't think I was, because music is really hard. You know, music training and the amount of work and practice you have to put in, it's unmeasurable, really. It's difficult. But I certainly have an interest in it. That's why I was able to kind of stick to it to this day. So long story short, so I actually was in the music intensive program since 3rd grade. And ever since then, it was almost like an ignorant thing in my part. I thought that, oh, okay, so it was chosen for me, you know, since I started music this early, this was just going to be my path. And so I stayed in the program through elementary school, middle school, high school, and then all the way to college. It was just the most natural thing to just choose to major in music. So I did. And so I finished my, 10, 12 years in music education, right? Music training. And after I graduated from college in Taiwan, I was like, so what do I do now? Right? There's no more studying for me. And playing piano is fun and everything, but what do I do? Right? And then so there came to an opportunity where I got to come to the United States to study music business. And so I took the opportunity. Obviously I applied because I was a little lost, you know, being in a music class, and I saw most of my classmates, they just, after they graduate, they start teaching private lessons, where they go to, K to 12 classes just to teach general music. But I was like, is that really what I want to do for the rest of my life, you know? And anyway, so I actually took the opportunity. So I went to University of Miami to major in music business, which was a very, very different environment and field in classical music, because my major was piano performance my whole life until I went to University of Miami. But again, long story short, after I finished my master's, I really met a great teacher who was at the time the piano department chair at the University of Miami. He offered me full scholarship and teaching assistantship to get a doctorate program in piano performance. So because of him, he was really a great mentor, and I think he changed my view of how I perceive music, rather than just something you're supposed to do, to that you really need to do it for yourself, and you find the inspiration and passion in making music. And that's what really kept me going all these years. Otherwise, like I said earlier, making music and being a music student is really difficult, because most of the time especially for classical pianists, you put yourself in a practice room and you have to practice alone in a very small space by yourself for 3-4 years. I mean, not 3-4 years, but 3-4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours at a time. And that's still not enough. You know, a lot of people I know, they become amazing world-class pianists. They practice 7 to 8 hours a day. My piano teacher back then, his name is Dr. Floyd. It's J.B. Floyd. he retired already, and he just inspired me so much. I just remember when I took lessons from him, rather than telling me this is what you do, this is what you do, and then he would always make me think about what I want to do. And that's really new to me because I grew up in Taiwan, where the concept of, I guess, teaching and being a student, learning is very different. And especially under the Asian culture influence, usually it's more of the style of passive learning, where the teachers tell you what to do and you just do it. You follow orders. I think there's a huge benefit in that sort of mentality, because then you follow instructions and you just improve on it, and you get really strong foundation of whatever you're learning. And I think that's how I got my foundation really solidly, is from that kind of training. But then my teacher in the University of Miami, he allowed me to be who I am, and he allowed the mistakes that he probably knew coming, but then he would just let me go through it and then realize, oh, that's not the right way. That's not the right direction. Because I think when that happens, when that process happens for students, I think that students will remember more strongly, what they're learning, and they learn from the mistakes. I think that's a really important thing, being an educator, right? To really allow students to make mistakes and then realize that, oh, this is actually what you're supposed to do. So
yeah, so it sounds like you got the best of both worlds, the discipline and the inspiration to keep going.
Sure, yeah, I feel really fortunate, and this is why I'm hoping that, having that experience, I can somewhat find a balance in my teaching, being a teacher at Cal State, to be able to inspire students, the best I can. It's the most rewarding thing too. Sometimes when you see students do certain things and you're like, oh, that's actually something I didn't think of. So this is more like a mutual learning process sometimes.
Yeah. It benefits both of you. You're always learning something new, right?
Right. Yeah.
Amazing. So I want to hear a little bit of your performance.
I will share with you a performance that I did during my Asia concert tour back in 2018. And this piece is by Alberto Ginastera. It's the third movement of a suite. really, really fun piece. It's that piece was about, well, obviously it's like Spanish dance, you know, so it's very rhythmic. But technically it's really, really difficult. As you can see, there's no break. And the speed, the velocity of the piece was the most challenging thing to tackle, because you have to go really fast.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you know, all over the keys, and so at the same time you have to keep a balance.
How long did that take for you to learn?
I think as far as learning the notes itself, I think well, learning the notes is not the most difficult part, but to shape it, to work on the interpretation, right? And then of course the speed of it. I think I usually would give myself, if not more, at least 6 months before I would perform anything in public. Because there's a memorization process involved too, right? Because you have to be able to memorize. Because
very intricate.
Yeah. It's just it's a lot of different components, you know, in putting together a performance that's ready for public. You know, it's kind of like making a movie, right? Usually, who knows how much time it takes to.
Yeah, you want to always perfect your craft before you showcase it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was really fun.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It was really my pleasure to talk to you and see some faces.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel or head on over to our website, csusmchronicle.com, for our latest stories. And if you'd like to support us in our mission of educating and empowering the next generation of journalists, please consider donating or advertising with us at csusmchronicle.com/advertise or csusmchronicle.com/donate. Thank you.